It's time for day 2 of our Tokyo Disney vacation package. Today is DisneySea with our Fantasy Springs passport. If you want to check out day 1, I have the link in the description here from our Disneyland day. This is the second day of our package. With our package, we stayed at the Toy Story Hotel. I think when I booked it, I was so surprised that a package came up that I was kind of in a rush to just check out and pay so I didn't lose it. So I booked the Toy Story Hotel because it was cheapest. Looking back, I think a better solution for our day, or a better choice for our day, would have been to choose Hotel Miracosta or Ambassador or Fantasy Springs Hotel. Those 3 hotels get happy entry to DisneySea. And because we were staying at Toy Story Hotel, we did not have happy entry to DisneySea. We did have guarantee entry to Fantasy Springs, but we did not get that little advantage to getting in 15 minutes early because we knew we weren't going to get into the hotel entrance only line. We knew the lines were going to be long, so we decided to just have our breakfast. With the Disney Vacation Package, you do get breakfast, which is another thing I want to mention. Your breakfast is always at the hotel that you're staying at. So if you stay at Ambassador, your breakfast would be at Chef Mickey's, which is a character breakfast. So just keep that in mind again when you're booking your vacation package. Maybe keep in mind which hotels have early entry or which ones have a better breakfast. Because I honestly don't really care for Lotso Garden Cafe. But Toy Story Hotel was a cheaper option for our vacation package. Now let's get on with the day. We started our day at the Lotso Garden Cafe. Our breakfast reservation was at 7 a.m. and we checked in at 6:58 a.m. We are those people that get up, get ready, and are out the door right away. So 7 a.m. we were seated in the restaurant. It's a buffet. If you want to see what's on the buffet, I have a video here on the channel of the full buffet. Personally, I didn't care for it. I've had breakfast buffets at Fantasy Springs Hotel, and that was just beyond amazing. Lotso is more of like a value hotel. I didn't think the breakfast was that great. It just wasn't for me, but we did have an amazing view of Mount Fuji from the restaurant. So the windows look out, and if you have a clear day, you can see Mount Fuji. So I got to enjoy having my tea with a view of Mount Fuji. It was great. Such a memorable experience. So I guess there were some perks to staying at the Toy Story Hotel. So next thing we did was we walked over and got on the monorail, and it was 9:25 at this time that we went and got on the monorail. The park opens around 8:30, so the park's been open for a little while. We jumped on the monorail, got over to DisneySea, and thankfully there were no lines to get in. One of the biggest things is that I always post these videos of the crowds before park opens. And I always get like a million comments of people saying, I just walked right in. Yes, if you show up after the park opens, you will walk right in. This is a video here I'm gonna just add in of the crowds at around 7 a.m. waiting for the park to open. So when you see those lines, just understand that those are people waiting for the park to open. Once the park opens, you can pretty much walk right in. So about 9:30, we walk right into the park. And I get on the app and I booked a Premier Access paid pass for Tower of Terror. I love it. The options for paid passes are Journey to the Center of the Earth, Soaring Fantastic Flight, Toy Story Mania, and Tower of Terror, and then the Fantasy Springs rides. So I had Fantasy Springs already booked, so for me it was just about getting whichever attractions I wanted to add on. When I booked my vacation package, I also reserved Soaring at 11 a.m. So when I got on the app, I got Tower of Terror, and I think I got a 10:15 return time for it. So, you know, it was about 9:30 in the morning, and I got a time for Tower of Terror at 10:15. So that's pretty good. A lot of people are trying for Fantasy Springs rides, so that kind of makes the other ones a little easier to get. So just, we decided to just kind of walk around and, you know, wait for my time. And so we saw all the massive crowds gathered around the water because it's New Year's Day and there is a special New Year's celebration. So there's like a barge that comes out with 2025 on it and the characters, and it's like a little special thing that goes on. So people rope drop the park to wait and get a spot for the show. And the show was at 11 a.m. So we were like looking at all the lines. There were lines for popcorn. It was really, really packed. But DisneySea is so big, it doesn't really feel that crazy. We decided to grab a free drink with our vacation package voucher. There was a huge line for the restaurant, but I went up to the cast member and just told them I just wanted the drink. So they sent me right into the mobile order counter, and I just ordered a drink from them, and they just handed it right to me. So that's a great perk. I've mentioned it before in other videos. Just if you have that drink voucher and there's a line for a restaurant, you're only getting a drink. If there's a cast member around, talk to them, because usually they'll let you skip the line and just go right in. And just to kill some more time, we wandered through some of the shops that have Duffy merchandise. I have talked about this before, but Duffy and Friends merchandise is only available at DisneySea when you go to Japan. If you go to Disneyland, there is no Duffy merchandise there. It is only at DisneySea. So of the two parks, you can only find it in DisneySea. I learned that the hard way about 6 years ago. So learn from my mistake. If you're going to get Duffy merchandise, you got to grab it at DisneySea. The store is crowded, though, I'll tell you that. There's a few stores, though, so it's not too bad. But we were just, doing some shopping. And then it was my time for Tower of Terror. So I walked right in. It was perfect. Walked past the 180-minute wait. Just zoomed right by into the pre-show. I love the pre-show. And then there was a little bit of a wait to get on the elevator, but not too bad. After that, it was about our time for Soaring, so we made our way over to Soaring, and at that moment, the barge for the special New Year's thing was coming out, so we looked over, and we saw the characters coming out, and they waved at us, and we're like, okay, that was good enough for us. We're not doing this crazy 4-hour wait for this show thing. So the show started, and we just made our way right into Soaring. I love Soaring. We did that. And then after that, we decided that we would, start making our way towards Fantasy Springs because we had the guarantee entry. It was no real rush to get over there. We stopped over at the fortress, the exploration fortress, and they have some really cool things there. And also they have a Society of Explorers and Adventurers map that you can only get there in the fortress. And so I grabbed one of those for my friend who had asked me for them several times, and they've been out every time and they were back in stock. So I grabbed one for my friend, and then we made our way over and we stopped into Mermaid Lagoon because I wanted to try for some more gacha toys, and they were just restocking the machine. So I had to wait while they were restocking the machine. And then I think I got 2 different gachas, and luckily they were 2 different ones, and they were the 2 that I wanted. So I was happy. They were ride vehicle ones. So I got the Jungle Cruise ride vehicle for myself, and then I got the ride vehicle from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea for my friend. So I was very excited. So then after that, we finally made our way over to Fantasy Springs. But before we entered the land, I needed to see the Rapunzel flower because the magical flower is hidden outside before you get into Fantasy Springs. And every other time that I've gone to Fantasy Springs, we've been staying at Fantasy Springs Hotel, which has a different entrance. So I never really go by where this Rapunzel flower is. So over the summer when we were there, I totally missed it. And then I found out about it when I got home, and I obsessed over it until I got to see it. And it was great. So I stopped in and saw the flower, and then we made our way into the land. And because we had the vacation package, we had little paper vouchers that allowed us in, and when we used them, they gave us wristbands that basically guaranteed us entry to the land and rides on each of the rides as many times as we want. So our first ride we decided to do was Rapunzel. The reason I did Rapunzel's Lantern Festival first is because there's a few scenes in the very beginning that are outdoors, and every time I've ridden and filmed, it's been dark. And so I thought, before the sun goes down, I need to get on Rapunzel and film in the daylight. So I managed to get on, and I got this beautiful footage of Flynn Rider and Maximus, and it looks really good with the daylight. So I'm very happy. The nighttime, it looks really good too. All my footage from the summer was like nighttime shots of Flynn, and so I really wanted to see him in the daylight. He looks great. We actually rode Rapunzel a few times, and then we decided to hit up the Snuggle Duckling for a Rapunzel's Magical Milk Tea, which is one of my favorite drinks at DisneySea. This is a specialty drink, but it's free with our vacation package. So we just walked right in and grabbed our drinks. And then we just kind of wandered around while we were enjoying our drinks. We looked at some of the different like rock formations of things, and I missed a lot of them over the summer. I have a full walking tour here. I rope dropped super early to be one of the first people in the park to walk the entire Fantasy Springs without people in my video. I have a 24-minute long video on this channel that no one watches, but it's amazing, that you should go watch it. But the point is that even when I made this video where I walked the entire land, I still missed a couple little rocks that I thought were cool. I missed the caterpillar smoking rock. I don't know how I missed that the first time, but you know, we were finishing our drinks and just looking around, and then we decided to hit up the gift shop, which is always packed. I have to mention, if you didn't know, Fantasy Springs Hotel does not have its own gift shop, so you got to go in the one in the park. That makes it very crowded. So we went in, it was just too packed. I tried to look around at some stuff. A few of the items I wanted over the summer that were sold out have been restocked, so I grabbed some things. It was just too crowded in there though. I couldn't deal with it. Couldn't enjoy it with the crowds. Then we rode Frozen a few times, and then we saw Ariel and Eric were out, but they had a huge crowd around them, so we were never gonna get anywhere near them. We also decided to ride Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies. Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies is kind of a kid's ride. It's okay. I didn't like it as much over the summer, and I sat in like the second row. And this time I sat in the front row, and I thought, oh, this was so fun. So I liked it more in the front row. I saw a lot more details this time when I rode. So I actually liked it more than I thought I did. So since it's included and we get to skip the line, we thought, why not ride it? And it was actually a lot more fun than I remembered. Then we went over and we got a drink from the Lookout Cookout. I love the Pixie Dust Soda. It's got like this big star on the top that when you stir it up, it breaks into two little stars and it adds some flavor to the drink. It's a kiwi flavored drink. It's one of my favorites. So get that when you're there. That and the Rapunzel Magical Milk Tea. You got to get those two. And after we finished our drinks, we decided to get in line for Peter Pan's Neverland Flight. This is a 3D ride, and it's one of those rides that we can ride maybe like 2, maybe 3 times, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, too intense, got the almost nausea going on. So we only did that once this time. We've done it plenty of times in the past though. So we only did it this once. And then we went back over to Rapunzel and then back over to Frozen. Because Frozen is the best ride in Fantasy Springs. I like Rapunzel too, though, but Frozen is the best. And honestly, I'd say Peter Pan is probably the second best. Rapunzel's just a little too short. Could have used another scene or two. Maybe a villain in there. But it's very pretty, though. It just, as soon as it ended, let me tell you, my reaction, I wish I'd filmed myself the first time, and it was like, that's it? That was it? So just know that Rapunzel is very short. At this point, it's getting a little later and it's getting a little cooler outside, and we were starting to get hungry, but we had Fantasy Springs restaurant reservations at 6. We stopped in early and asked if they could seat us early, and they did. So luckily we were able to go in and eat right away. It's a buffet and it's fantastic. This is part of the hotel, but the only way you can enter is through DisneySea. So you have to book it and have a DisneySea day. So you enter from the park, and even though it's attached to the hotel, you cannot get in the hotel. Like before you even walk in, they're like, what hotel are you staying at? Like, if you're not staying here, we're gonna make sure we write this down so we watch you and you do not get out that door. Because even like when you're going towards the bathroom, there's a bathroom like in the restaurant, so you can't even get out to the lobby of the hotel. All those cast members are standing there, like even as you're going to the bathroom, you see them all like starting to get towards the opening, like they're ready, like nobody's running past us into this hotel. You are not getting in that hotel if you're not staying there. Just know that. It's beautiful though, so if you are staying there, make sure you take plenty of pictures and videos because you will not get back in there again. I wish I'd taken more videos over the summer. But if you want to see the hotel, I do have videos here on the channel. I stayed there twice. It was awesome. So we had this dinner. It was fantastic. Like, I can still taste that food. It was so good. I still think about it. So definitely, if you have the opportunity to make that as a reservation with your vacation package, take advantage of it. It was delicious. We got out of dinner and we were just, it was so cold at that point and we just couldn't handle it. But we did Frozen one more time because we decided, since it's the best, we had to do it one more time to say goodbye. Sat front row, great time, perfect. Perfect way to end our Fantasy Springs night. We were making our way out of the park, and then because Sindbad is our other favorite ride and we did not ride it earlier that day, we decided, okay, even though it's freezing, let's go to Sindbad real quick. Best ride ever. So we rode that, and then again, trying to make our way out of the park. Believe Sea of Dreams was just starting. So we were kind of like seeing the show go on as we were making our way to the exit. So it was kind of cool. You could hear it. You could kind of see it as you're just moving along. Definitely going to beat the rush out of here though. So that was about our day. We ended up getting on the monorail pretty quickly and going over to our next hotel, which is the Tokyo Disneyland Hotel. We had sent our luggage over from Toy Story, so as soon as we got there, the luggage was already in the room. We just picked up our room keys and checked in at the front desk. We walked up and walked in, and it had a park view, and we spent the rest of the night shining our lights out the window. It's a very cute thing at the end of the day at Disneyland and DisneySea. As you're exiting, people in the hotels shine their lights out, like flashlights or stuffed animals. Just, I've even seen, I'm gonna put in a video, an older video here, of a guy wearing a Donald Duck butt who was like wiggling his butt in the window. They just have a ton of fun with this. It's a really sweet way to kind of like say good night. And if you're in the park or leaving the park, you know, you shine a light back at them, and it's kind of this really cool thing. And like, people form hearts. They like, two people will take their phones and like do the shape of a heart, and it's just a great thing. And I've always been in the park shining my light up and waving at people, and so it was really cool to have the hotel room this time where I looked down and got to wave to people. So that was a great way to end our day. And that was the end of our vacation package. If you want more tips and tricks for the vacation package, I'm going to add another link here in the description for more information. And be sure to give me a follow and check out my socials for more tips on Tokyo Disney Resort. I will see you guys next time. Bye.